G'day and welcome to my garage. I'm just extracting the tail stand slide and the screw support for the tail stand from this casting. I might as well extract the mystery part while I'm at it. The mystery part, there is two pieces. They're exactly the same. There's no left hand and right hand. They both do the same. There's an ugly lump of metal, but still a good piece of 49-50mm casting. Probably porous. Must work that out one day. Anyhow, that's good stock. And I've got those parts out, I just have to clean them up now. If that's not right, I can fly cut that anyhow. So there's the slide cleaned up. Now we can go onto the mill and get machined. It won't take long to clean up. Oh. Still got to clean up the screw support. The tail stand slide is mounted to the angle bracket, and the angle bracket of course is mounted to the work table. I'm facing off this side of the bushing side of the slide. Now this side gets faced later on again when it'll be mounted to the tail stand and mounted to the bed, and like the tail stand itself, it'll be milled whilst fitted to the bed, not to the carriage or slide. What do they call it? Stick with carriage. Anyhow, let's machine this. The reason I'm machining this side, I don't know if I mentioned, is because I want to machine the other side and I need a flat surface to start with, and that's what I've achieved here. And there we have a fairly nice surface, a little bit just low on the edge and then off that corner a bit. But that's not what I'm after, I just wanted a flat surface so I can then machine that side. That's all I'm after. Alright, bring you back later. I've done a clean-up pass on this lower one. I'm just doing a second cut. These are still primary cuts. I don't know how thick I want that yet. That change in vibration happened where I put the oil on. And the saddle's creeped out. I should have put a saddle lock. So I haven't got one on the saddle, but I've got a couple of locks that I can clamp onto the bedways. And I think I'll put those on. These should stop the saddle from creeping. What's happened? I've got a little ledge in there, which means this moved. Now that the primary cut, I didn't have the saddle locks on, so maybe it had moved on that cut. I don't know. No, it's moved again. Try that again. Let's go. Something's not working. What's this? Well, the pulley on the end there came loose, the small one, the 2-inch, and I could have sworn I locked that cutter in the ER32 collet, but it came loose also. So that would be part of the creeping problem. So let's start again. I don't know why we've got vibration. Seems to be in this one spot here, but it successfully went through. So that's the main thing. That's tight. That's tight. All right. I'll raise the head up and do the underside. Okay, I've dropped it down another 1.25. So I am currently at 54.67. It should go to 55.8.9-ish. Let's measure that and see where we ended up. What did I say we're going to be? About 57, was it? 55, 55.8, nearly 56. $56.1. So that's no problems for that. And a 5mm, but I don't have a... I should have a 6mm drill, that'll do. Drills. It's a nice fit. About 10 or 15 thou play. I want a little bit more than that. This is for the gib. The gib's going to be on the lower section. So let's make one more pass for this one. Got to bring it all the way back. I've got to come up to trim that up, clean that up. And we'll drop about a quarter of a turn. Oh, at the bottom of its travel. Let's see what that was like. looks nice. Should turn that off before I stick my fingers in there. It wouldn't be a comfortable feeling, I don't think. So is this climb milling? No. So I need to reduce the height of these lands for the clamps so that it's a little bit lower than the ways that it's going to run on. So that's the ways. If I fitted that in. And now, I didn't set myself up, did I? Look at the dial gauge. To go, come on, in there you go. In there you go. So that's at the height of that. I want to go about another 1/8 thou. So I need to loosen off the clamp. Already moved away. So 1/8 thou. What are we? 78. Okay, that's 1/8 thou. Plus 1/8 thou. So whatever the difference was, plus 1/8 thou. So lock. Let's get rid of this. You out of the way. Okay, the saddle is locked in position. Lift this fellow up. About there. Okay, I've got a problem now. When I was cutting that bottom land, I came to the lowest travel of the head. Now I've got to go lower again. I've already lifted this up 6 millimetres because it's got a 10 millimetre key bolted to the that locks this in the right position. So I've come up 6. I can only come up another 2 maybe. That won't do me any good. I need, what do I need? I need to drop at least another 13 millimetres, maybe 14. That's not going to happen. I'll have to use a fly cutter. That'll be interesting. Lining up the fly cutter to that face, and then I can drop it down to cut that. Alright, later. This is a 2 millimetre cut. Let's see how it performs. The whistling you'll hear is the cutter on the back stroke, just touching. Lighting is very, very difficult with this aluminium. I've got mounted here the block. It takes the bushing to support the end of the milling cutter shaft, drive shaft. And just since I've got the face mill still in, well, I left it in, let's put it that way, I'm just facing off this block, or facing the sides off, squaring it up, that's what I'm doing. Pretty good. Just lock it in there and go to town. Got a fair bit to take off here. There's about 3-4 millimetres. Turning it the wrong way. I've still got more to go, I know. I'm just going to see what my point is. I can take a quarter. think it was 85 point. 85.07, so 85. I'd like to take a little bit more out of this, but we're 84.8, so 0.2 of a mil under. I can afford to lose a little bit. I'll just trim off some of the slide. Doesn't really matter actually, because it slides. This is the dimension that it slides on. There's going to be a slot across there. It doesn't have to be the same size as the deck of the slide that this is sitting on. So we'll take a little bit of the chunk there. A measured amount, of course. Beautifully measured. And there we have our piece. Very nice. Again, like the screw support, it has to be put on the lathe and hole drilled and reamed, and yeah, got a bit of a cavity in there. Interesting. Good thing it's not an aerospace part. Anyhow, that'll be beautiful. I'm now finished with this face mill. I can take it out. And actually I'm off to do some lathe work now. Although I could trim up these sides, square them up. I like to leave a little bit of roughness about it. It just gives it a bit of a homemade look, doesn't it? I purposely put a machine surface on that side, square with the running surface of the ways, because I knew I wanted to get this plate here square,